In this week's lecture, we have been talking about elections, the presidential election in particular. Today, in our modern technology era, there have been a number of websites developed which will poll you or survey you based on your opinions and the opinions of those of the candidates. So in this website, you see the name of the website up here in the left-hand corner, www.isidewith.com. If you go to that website, you can come right here where it says take the quiz in the left-hand corner of where President Trump is speaking. And what this quiz will do is it will match the candidate who is most consistent with your political positions on the issues. So this is interesting because maybe the candidate you think is most consistent with your views is not the candidate who is actually most consistent with your views. We talked in the lecture about who is the best candidate. Some people argue that it's always party. And as you know, if it was always party, the Democratic candidate would always win, since there are more registered Democrats in the United States than there are Republicans. And so something else is going on. Something else is at play. People look for the positions of a candidate on issues. Not all individuals. Some people vote strictly by party. But this will be an interesting and a telling quiz for you about what you think on issues versus who you think you may want to vote for. So what you'll do is you'll just click on Take the Quiz. That will bring up this screen right here. It'll ask you a number of questions. There are quite a few. It'll take you 10-15 minutes to go through this. Should the president, so the first question, should the president be able to authorize military force against Al-Qaeda without congressional approval? Gives you the option of yes, no. So if you think this is a straight, simplistic question on either side of the spectrum, you just click yes or no. You can always change your mind. But if you think it's a little more nuanced than that, then you'd want to come down here and click other issues, or excuse me, other stances. And then read those and see if one of those fit better with than just a straight yes or a no. You can also then say, okay, how important is this to me? You can click that. That'll match you with the candidate also. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to do this myself. I'll go to the end and then I'll show you what happens with the results. When you get to the end, you'll see this box. You click Show My Results. And it's going to calculate. So I'm going to pause this while it's calculating. And you can see the results might surprise you. So based on the answers that I gave, it is showing me that Donald Trump is the most consistent candidate with my views. Not sure why the screen is as light as it is, but you can see there that if I thought I was going to be voting for Biden based on this quiz, my more ideal candidate is Donald Trump with 93% of his responses agreeing with mine. Hope this was helpful.